Christy. Welcome to my Christmas card series for 2014. Super excited to get started and get these Christmas cards made. All of the Christmas cards that I'm making will be going to the Caring Hearts card drive, which is hosted by Vera Yates and Jennifer McGuire. So I would definitely recommend that you go and check that great cause out. It benefits the elderly in nursing homes, and I've participated every year that's been going on, and it's just a wonderful cause. So I'll leave the link in the description bar for you to check out, and let's go ahead and get started. So for today I'm going to use this new Winter Woodland stamp set by W+9 along with the matching dies and the Simple Stories Cozy Christmas 6x6 pad, which I have showed you guys in a recent haul video. Just really great color palette. So I have gone ahead and mounted a couple of my images on some acrylic blocks, and the inks I'll be using today are the Memento Luxe, and I have Rich Cocoa, Peanut Brittle, and Toffee Crunch, and I'm going to begin stamping. I have a piece of scratch paper here for my critters, and this is for my trees, but we'll start with the critters. So I'm going to do a little bit of a rock and roll technique. So I'm going to start out with the Peanut Brittle for my bunny, and I'm going to get that inked up. Just kind of light taps to get that really good and covered. And then I'm going to just kind of rock and roll the edges of that in the Toffee Crunch, and we'll stamp that down. And you see you get a little bit of a shading effect there. I'm going to do a couple practice ones until I get one that I like, but for now we'll go ahead and move on to our deer. And for the deer I'll be doing the Toffee Crunch. Okay, and then I'm going to roll him in the Rich Cocoa just to give him a little bit of definition. Okay, so I'm just going to gently roll the back side of him, and we'll stamp him down. Okay, I like him much better. So I'm going to do a couple more practice ones, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so there's a good look at this technique here. I decided I didn't care for the Peanut Brittle color after all, so I went ahead and set that aside and stuck to the Toffee Crunch and the Espresso Truffle for both animals. And you can see, just depending on how much you roll that second color, you can get a really different variation in the colors. So now I have enough for a couple different cards. And then as far as your ink pad that has that cross-contamination, just grab a baby wipe and wipe off the top layer of that. So I'm going to ink up my trees in that Espresso Truffle ink. Just make sure they're really well covered. Okay. And I've got that mounted on my Fisker stamp press so that I can be sure to get a good impression. And the top of this panel is later going to be covered, so I really want to concentrate on getting those branches in a place that I want them. So once I have that where I want it, I'm just going to press that down. And while I hold that down, I'm just going to walk my fingers over the image to make sure that all the ink transfers. Alright, I've decided that I want to stamp this small cardinal just for a pop of red over on this lower branch right here. So for that I'm going to use the Memento Luxe in Love Letter and Rhubarb Stalk. And I just did a test run right there on the corner to see how I like that, and that's good. So I'll go ahead and ink that up one more time. Okay. Roll it in the rhubarb stalk on the back side. Okay, and then I'm just going to put that bird right on that branch. Okay. Alright, so while that pigment ink is drying, we can go ahead and adhere our main pattern paper down to the front of our card base. I've just cut this to cover the entire card, which is 5.5 by 4.25. And our card base is a craft card base from Crafter's Companion. I like to turn my card bases upside down. It just helps me line things up a little bit better. Okay, and I can go ahead and smooth that down. Then I've got a panel of this chevron paper that I've cut with the Lawn Fawn Stitch Scallop Borders die. That's going to go up at the top of our panel, which will go like this. And then I've got a piece of polka dot vellum and a piece of American Crafts glitter paper cut down with the W+9. This is the new border landscape border dies. There's 3 in there. I used 2 different ones. So those are going to get layered on the bottom of our card, something like that. So as soon as my little animals are dry, I'm going to go ahead and die cut those out, and then we'll be back to assemble the card. Right, so our animals have dried, and I have die cut those with the matching dies and just held those down in place with a little bit of post-it tape. So there we go. Beautiful. They give that nice white border that really makes them stand out. Okay, and that's the bunny I've chosen for this particular card. Set aside the others to come up with some other card ideas. Alright, and now we can go ahead and start to set our scene. I'm going to go ahead and take my ETG and just adhere a little bit down at the bottom for that vellum to stick to. And then I can line that up. I think we're going to go right up here to the edge. Okay. And you can see that adhesive right through the vellum, which is why we put it at the bottom there. So it'll be covered up by our other snowbank. Just going to trim off the excess. And now we can line up our other snowbank here. Okay, I'm thinking something like that. But I do want to add some dimension to our card. So I'm going to take a little bit of foam adhesive. And it looks like I need to trim that down just a bit to fit underneath there. And we can line that up over the vellum. Okay. And then we can just put our deer back where we want him to be. Maybe right about there. And then we can take our little bunny and adhere him down with some foam tape as well. Put him off to this side. Okay, and now we need to add our sentiment. So I'm going to take a look at my stamp set again. And I think we're going to do the Happy Holidays. So I'm going to take the love letter here and get that inked up. And then we'll take the rhubarb stalk and just roll the bottom letters right there. Okay, and then I'm going to just stamp that down right there. Alright, and now we can go ahead and add some tape runner to the back of our panel here. And once again, I'm going to turn that upside down so I can get that lined up. Okay, I can press that into place. Okay, so I've trimmed my chevron piece down to the size I want it to be, and now I just want to adhere that to the card front with foam adhesive as well. And once I've got the backings all peeled off of those, I can flip my card over and once again just line that up at the top. So for my final step, I have taken some lawn trimmings in the Silver Sparkle and wrapped that around the top of my card twice. And I'm just going to pull that together and tie that in a bow right up here. Okay. I'm going to leave that a bit wide for now. Then I've taken 2 little scraps of pattern paper and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere those together, make a little double flag. I've cut the ends into a banner shape. So I'll just layer those up. Okay. Adjust that a little bit before I press that into place. And now I've got this little poinsettia flower that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, just in the Christmas crafts section. And I'm going to take some multi-medium matte from Ranger. So I want a really strong adhesive. And I'm just going to add quite a bit there. Enough that it'll cover the whole bottom of that flower. And then I'll just press that into place. And now that I see how that's going to look, I can go ahead and trim off my other end. And that is our finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed this card number 1 in my Christmas card series, and stay tuned for more Christmas card videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.